The long-anticipated moment for Coronation Street fans finally happened this week as predatory teacher Megan Walsh was taken into custody after grooming and abusing student Will Driscoll. When Sam Blakeman discovered what she had been doing, Megan targeted him with cruel and aggressive behavior. With encouragement from his stepmother, Leanne Battersby, Sam eventually spoke out, which pushed Will's family to contact the police. However, due to insufficient proof and Will's hesitation to speak against her, Megan was released. Since the storyline is ongoing, it may take some time before she is fully held accountable for her actions. Although the show portrays Will as being 15 and later 16, which has unsettled many viewers, people have been curious about the actor's real ages. It has been confirmed that the actor playing Will is actually 17. Meanwhile, the actress who plays Megan is 25 and will celebrate her 26th birthday this year. Speaking about filming the more sensitive scenes, she explained that it was emotionally challenging, particularly because her co-star is much younger. She noted that strong trust between them, along with strict limits on set, helped make those scenes more manageable. She also added that portraying the character requires understanding Megan's warped mindset, even though the behavior is clearly disturbing. The introduction of the Driscoll family, led by Maggie, along with Ben and Ollie, joined by Eva and Susie, marked a fresh chapter in the show as they took over the famous Rover's Return pub. Soon after Will arrived, viewers learned he had been manipulated and abused by Megan, though he was initially believed to have stayed behind in Hull simply because he didn't want to leave his friends. The reality was far more troubling. Deeply influenced by Megan, Will struggled with the idea of being apart from her. When she ended things, he threatened to return to Hull alone to continue seeing her, which led his grandmother Maggie to invite Megan to Weatherfield. Without realizing it, Maggie's decision allowed Megan to maintain control over Will and continue exploiting him. Megan carried on the illegal relationship while also becoming involved with Daniel Osborne, eventually becoming pregnant and making the situation even more complicated. Though she first considered ending the pregnancy, Megan later chose to keep the baby. She told Will that he was the father and insisted they stay apart until they could gather enough money to leave. Consumed by jealousy, Will later attacked Daniel in a violent outburst on Christmas Day, leaving him critically injured. It later emerged that Will was not her only victim when another person she had targeted arrived in Weatherfield. Although Megan managed to silence him and force him out quickly, she soon realized that Sam would be much harder to control. After Sam secretly placed a camera in her flat, Megan discovered it and turned the situation against him, threatening to accuse him of inappropriate behavior. Skilled at identifying vulnerabilities, she targeted Sam's dedication to school and disrupted his studies, which eventually led him to misuse ADHD medication. When Sam collapsed as a result, and despite Will's growing guilt, Megan continued to intimidate him at the hospital. Eventually, Sam revealed everything to Leanne. With Will's family now united, the question remains whether they can finally outsmart and stop her. James Cartwright is getting ready to film his departure from Coronation Street, as his character Theo Silverton prepares to leave the series. Theo has become one of the most disturbing villains in Weatherfield, with his ongoing abuse of Todd Grimshaw making viewers uneasy since last year. As a villain, it was always expected that his storyline would eventually come to an end. For now, though, Theo isn't leaving the show immediately. A spokesperson confirmed that James Cartwright joined the soap on a fixed-term contract and understood from the beginning how long his character's arc would last. He still has scenes left to film in the Theo and Todd storyline and is expected to remain on screen until later this year. With Theo sticking around for a while, it raises questions about whether he could be involved in the upcoming mystery storyline. Many fans had hoped the character would meet a dramatic end, but his exit may instead come through a different form of justice. Theo was first introduced as a more sympathetic figure, having endured conversion therapy while struggling with his feelings for Todd, despite having a wife and children. However, it soon became clear that something darker was beneath the surface. His controlling behavior started subtly, targeting anyone he saw as a threat, including Todd's ex Billy Mayhew and others around him. Over time, this manipulation escalated into outright abuse, including humiliating and controlling actions that left Todd deeply shaken. The situation worsened as Theo isolated Todd, damaged his confidence, and exerted control over his life, including finances and work. In a special episode focusing entirely on Todd's experience, viewers saw how Theo's manipulation even led to Todd being arrested while trying to defend himself. As the storyline continued, Theo removed anyone who could help Todd, tightening his control further. His behavior grew even more extreme, including threatening Todd with a knife, before later attempting to regain control after a breakup. Upcoming scenes will show Theo continuing his manipulation even after their separation. Outside the soap, James Cartwright is set to appear in a very different role in the comedy horror project Bjorn of the Dead, where he plays Benny in a story about an ABBA tribute band facing a zombie apocalypse. An exit is coming up in Coronation Street as Lou Michaelis is set to leave the show again after her recent return. Lou first appeared last year as part of a dramatic Neighbors from Hell storyline, which took a dark turn and ultimately saw her sent to prison while Tim and Sally Metcalf stepped in to care for her children. She recently returned to screens, now sharing scenes with Debbie Webster in prison and forming an unexpected bond with her. However, her time back on the show will be short-lived. Actress Farrell Hegarty revealed in a recent podcast interview that she has already finished filming her latest stint. She explained that she returned for a brief run after originally appearing for about 6 months, with her character now still in prison and continuing her troubled storyline. Although filming has wrapped for her, Lou will still appear on screen for a while before her final scenes are aired. Since finishing her work on the soap, Farrell Hegarty has been focusing on creating comedic content on social media. In the same interview, she also spoke about her personal life, including relationships and her appreciation for simple routines like enjoying a proper dinner at the end of the day. In Coronation Street, Carla Connor is set to face a troubling decision next week as Jody Ramsey makes a bold move. Carla may end up making a risky choice when Jody offers to take baby Connie off her hands. The question is whether Carla will trust her neighbor with babysitting. While spending time in the garden of number 6, Carla and Lisa Swain dote on the baby they have recently taken in. Their peaceful moment is soon interrupted when Jody notices them and eagerly offers her help as a babysitter. However, there are serious concerns about Jody's behavior. She has been acting increasingly unsettling, with one alarming incident involving her pretending to be another child's mother at the hospital. This raises doubts about her true intentions, leaving it unclear whether her offer to care for Connie comes from kindness or something more suspicious. Jody is quick to reassure Carla that she is fully capable of looking after the baby, but it remains to be seen if that will be enough to gain her trust. Earlier in the week, Betsy Swain and Dylan Wilson also offered to help with babysitting duties while Carla and Lisa are busy. After being given the responsibility, the two relax while Connie sleeps, though their ability to handle the situation properly may still be questioned. Despite being old enough to take care of a child, any small mistake could create tension, especially given how protective Carla and Lisa are. As Jody continues to push her offer, Carla faces a difficult choice, whether to rely on someone with a questionable track record. With Jody's strange behavior becoming more noticeable, there are growing fears that she may have hidden motives behind her willingness to help. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is available to stream on ITVX.